All right, zombie traders part two, part deuce. So when I say the other video, I talked about this briefly, so I want to expound on it just a little bit and tell y'all a brief story, give you some insight to my background and why I feel like that's given me an edge and has contributed to my success overall thus far over the course of the past 6 months I've been day trading. So when I say zombie traders, I mean people who don't think, right? They just feed. They take trades blindly based on what someone else tells them, whether it's a Discord signal, a mentor call out, some random content online, whatever. And I notice they're driven by desperation and desire, not by thought or process. And that's a problem. And then when the losses come, and like I said, losses are part of this game, they get angry, they get frustrated, and confused. And the real problem isn't the loss. It's the problem is that they're not learning. And I don't see enough consistency in terms of journaling their trades, if at all. Um, they're not testing their strategies consistently. They're not analyzing the charts for themselves, and they just rinse and repeat until their accounts blow up, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. Now, let me show you what I mean with a quick story uh, from before I became a software engineer. And this, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. All right. Now, when I was learning, and I took some notes, so I won't ramble on. So when I was learning programming, I got into a tough C++ class at a community college. This language is notoriously hard. It's a low-level programming language, and I won't get into the details because many of y'all won't even understand what I'm talking about. But at one point, we had this assignment. We had this assignment worth like the majority of the grade. It was something crazy. I was like, what the hell? And I tried to follow the book step by step, and the book is like this freaking thick. All right. Actually, it was like thicker than that. It was like, man, it was huge. But exactly the way it was laid out, and I struggled very, very hard. Right. I struggled hard, and eventually, in frustration, I put the book down. I prayed. I was like, "Yo, Lord, this is crazy. Please help me." And I realized something. It was just like the revelation hit me. It's like, why am I trying to force myself into this narrow box? Right? I don't fit. And I was like, why not just look at the problem for what it really is and solve it in my own way? All right, so I stopped following the textbook instructions and instead focused on the intent of the assignment, which was to basically build a program that works. There was a certain feature set that needed to be included, and it couldn't break. Right, that was the major thing that they would vigorously test it. The instructors, that is, and it can't break. All right, so it couldn't be broken. So that's what I did. My solution didn't check every box. I want y'all to know this. My solution did not check every box of the instructor's guidelines, but it was bulletproof. It was bulletproof. In fact, my instructor tested it, then gave it to his colleagues inside the college and outside the college to try to break it. And none of them could. And I can't make this up. This is a true story. And so he initially took off points. What was funny is because he initially took off points because I didn't follow every detail of the instructions, but he gave them back to me when he saw the strength of my program. And at that moment for me, it confirmed for me that I wasn't made to just follow some zombie-like, approach, right? My gift, what I've learned to realize is my gift is in lifting up the hood, all right, and studying the real problem and building a solution that works, even if it's unconventional. And so, to bring it back to trading, to close out on this point, is that's exactly how I approach trading or just investing in general. Just everything that I do, for the most part, is not conventional. So yeah, and if you know me, nothing I've done, even getting the software engineering jobs, wasn't conventional. And that's why it positioned me to, negotiate, my salary, and I was getting paid more than what the experienced engineers were getting paid, and they were shocked because they knew more than me, and they couldn't understand why I was getting paid, much more. But like I said, that's my approach. I don't take anyone's word at face value. I grew up in the hood, for crying out loud. So not a mentor, not social media, not even if I paid $3,500 for the course like I did for Scarface Trades. I study the market, I test it, and I validate, I journal. And zombie traders look at me like I'm some sort of anomaly, but I'm not. And the difference is simply this: zombie traders, all right, if you're a zombie trader, you just chase signals. All right, you chase the money and you stay stuck in a cycle of losses. Real traders, if you're a real trader, you observe, you test, you adapt, and you build proof of concepts, same way engineers do. And it's not about being special, it's about refusing to move blindly. And it's about looking under the hood and accepting reality for what it is and making decisions based on the data and understanding. And that's the distinction. So with that, it's your man Ace. Got a couple of more gems to follow, so stay tuned for more if you're interested. If you found value in this, feel free to like, subscribe, and follow for more. It's your man Ace. I'm gonna drop the mic right here. I'm out. Later. Till next video.